Yeah, hello there. Welcome back to the grind. It's on the Dodge W100 or 1989 Dodge W100, I think. I think that's what it is. Anyhow, it's working on brakes and stuff. Brakes mostly. So I pulled off all the front brakes and no calipers there. And I pulled off, then I took apart all the back brakes, pulled the axles out, and pulled the, whatever you call these things, bearings. That was hard work. Anyway, you can stick around and see how that happens. Then I've got everything apart now and it's ready to go, well, I'll get cleaned up and start putting it back together next week or next time. And that should be brakes on the car. And I took out the old lines and stuff like that too. There's lines, brake lines, and brake lines, and brake lines, and oh yeah, the grill's missing. I took that off just because. Okay, so stick around and see everything that happened, and mostly on the brakes and cleaning up stuff and a voyage of discovery, right? Okay, enjoy it all. See you later. Bye. Yeah, so where am I? I had a pretty good spot on here. The lights are all working, the gears are all working, it drives, it runs. So I'm going to take it out of here for a bit, and I'm waiting for a few parts to come, and then I'll start working on the interior. But while I'm waiting for that, I'm going to take it out and I'll, what am I going to do? I'm going to bring in that Dodge truck. Where is it? Let's see. Oh, right over there. See if I can light that up, clean it up a bit, and then bring it in and I'll see what's cooking with that. Well, here you go. There you go. Empty shop. More or less. Every time another vehicle comes through, there's more stuff accumulates in here. But I've got most everything that belongs to the BMW in the trunk of the BMW. Likely I'll find some other stuff here that should be there. But for now, pretty clean. I'll see about now. Let's see if we can go start up that Dodge. I had a battery charger on it for a while. Last time I tried to start it, it wouldn't go. The battery was low. So let's see what'll happen this time. Then I gotta take it and clean it out. Inside here and everywhere. Let's see what happens here. No air conditioning, that's for sure. That starts up easy. Likes having a full battery. And I guess wherever the charge light is, it's must be charging. And it sounds like no wipers. That must be a fuse somewhere. Oh yeah, and the power steering is stiff. See if I can get this turned around here. Maybe I should put some power steering fluid in it. Likely wouldn't hurt it. Right? That might be a good thing to do before I get too far into this thing. Okay, I'll do that. Hang on. Yeah, there. That's full now. I just topped it up. It was pretty empty. But, well, it's got a serpentine belt on it. That's brand new stuff. And it comes with its own wasp nest over there. That's a good thing to have. Anyway, let's see if I can get it into the shop or over to get it washed up anyhow. Try that again. Yeah, now the power steering works pretty darn good. Not perfect, but not bad. At least I can turn. Wow. plug is. Over there. Okay, go right about here somewhere. We'll run the washer on it. No, nothing showing the fuel, nothing showing on the temperature, but I think that likely be fuses, eh? And the voltmeter is, don't know what that's at. I can check that, see if it's charging. Hang on. That's an easy check. Sounds incredibly good in here. Surprising. Yeah, 12.15 it says there, so that says that thing's not charging at that speed anyhow. I don't know where the throttle is on it. I'll go give it a bit of a zoom. You guys watch and see if it comes up any. Can you see that? Yeah. Any change? Let me check. Yeah, I guess I'll have to wait to find out because I can't see right now. Anyway, let's get this thing cleaned off and see what happens. So I'm going to clean out the interior too with the same method. I'll maybe take this, see if I can get these mats out of here. Okay, shut it off. Shut you off. Yeah, so I blew everything off with the with the air hose. Put that air cleaner on properly so it wouldn't get a bunch of yuck in it. Might have been a bit too late for that, but anyway, did what I could. Then out of the truck, there's this thing, which is a weight, you know, for the front of a lawnmower or something. And here's all the goodies, right? Inspection thing. Got a window visor, a couple of Dodge things that don't go with this truck, and I guess the rodents were here because it's got a nice acorn. I've sprayed this stuff, parts cleaner on the motor, put that into the power steering. Got a bolt and a washer and a funny screwdriver. Anyway, I'll take the pressure washer to it now. You can watch for a bit of that if you want. Hang on a second. I'll get going. Just going to clean out the motor and everything like that. Yeah, that's a bit cleaner in there now. I could do some more down here. Maybe I will later. Yeah, and some more down there. I'll work on that. And then mostly it's pretty clean though. And then I just hosed out the interior here. There's lots of holes for it to disappear into. I'll get the air gun and blow the rest of the water out of there. This thing here is pretty well, you know, head biscuit. But, yeah, well, what the hell. Cleaner than it was before. Gotta clean off the steering wheel, eh? There we go. Oh boy, that's nice and clean now. Oh, yuck, is that ever yucky? Just, well, I'll get some stuff and clean that off. Anyway, there we go. Then I even took the hose to all this plastic on the inside because it's just plastic. Can't hurt anything. Okay, so I'll carry on. Yeah, so anybody that's wondering, there's the little Beamer there, and a Porsche, and a Mercedes, and a Triumph. Got too many cars, eh? And a, what do you call that thing back there? Mini Cooper. There's another couple over there. My. Volkswagen van, Hillman, and E24 in here. Just poking his eye out there. Anyway, that's lots of cars. Looks like the front end was binged, and it was replaced with from the same truck that this came off of. I'm pretty sure that the same color up here in the so underneath here, see this one here is off of a different car, so it must have been bashed in, and then the radiator likely was ruined, but the motor seems to be okay. So, and the grill was gone, so because that looks new there too, hey? Anyway, and then see the bumpers hanging down lower on one side than the other. That's interesting. Well, we'll see what's underneath there when I get it up. I'll see if I can get it up on the hoist. See if I can get it in the garage. Hey, I don't know. You might as well just stay here and watch and see. Watch the excitement here. Might have to let it dry out for a little while and then try it. It looks like I've got water somewhere. Yeah, I just had to let it sit for a while and dry off, and then it just roared to life. Yeah, okay, that uses up all the space in the shop, doesn't it? Might have to do work on this on the other shop and but I'll do anything I need to do on the hoist in here, and then we'll put it in the other shop to work on the other stuff, because need to get underneath around it. I'll check out the underneath. I hope. I think that's centered pretty well, likely good enough. Then I'll see if I can get it up in the hoist. Well, okay, it's let me get a light. It's up on the lift. Hey, oh my God, it's big. Monster truck. Monster truck on the lift. This stuff here looks all right. In fact, shock absorbers look like they're okay. On this side, the brakes are a bit stiff, so I'm going to just do some work on that. I'm a little bit leery about getting underneath this truck here, so I'm not going to. I'm not going to do any work on the lift with this truck because it's way too big. It's sticking out the end of the garage, and it's still got a catalytic converter on it, which is amazing. And I'll figure out what's going on with the exhaust. You know, most of it looks pretty good. Like the frame is crusty, but that's just, it's not rusty, it's just crusty. Let's have a look around here. I know that the back brakes need some serious help. Well, anyway, we'll get to that. That'll be coming to a channel near you, right? Looks like the gas tank. It's got a plastic gas tank, which is good. You can't beat a plastic gas tank. all looks okay back here. Like this pair of vice grips is interesting, right? That stops the fluid from going back there. And what else is up here? Near as I can tell, everything's okay. I think that exhaust leak might be right at that junction over there. I'll check it out. I thought it was coming right at the back of the manifold, but no, I don't think so. Anyway, but as far as the metalwork goes, needs a little bit of work on the floors, but otherwise, you know, not bad. Like that's bent there. Don't know why. I'll go around to the front again. Think I can get underneath there without it falling on me? No, I don't think so. I think I'll go around. Don't want to be underneath it. Well, being in front of it is just as bad because that's the way it's going to tip. Like it doesn't quite fit in the garage, eh? So, what I'll do is I might leave it poked in a little bit to figure out the motor stuff. That'd be okay. But on the ground, and then we'll, because it just takes the whole garage up. Oh, that's just bent down because this is adjustable here. Okay, looks like the frame's all right. That can be adjusted up, or that side can be adjusted down. Maybe this side's bent up. Better look. Yeah, this side's higher than the other side. See how that gap up there? Then we'll look at the other side. Oh, it's about the same gap. It go up a little bit here. Don't know for sure. Anyway, well, or else on the front here it's not adjusted properly. Something's not right anyhow. Could be just a twist in it, right? Okay, well that'll be fixable. Looks like all of the steering joints and everything are not bad. What I'll do is I'll get it ready for, like I'll get the brakes done, get all the lights working, then I'll take it in, and those guys in the what you would call in England the MOT shop, or here the motor vehicle inspection, they can tell me what it needs. But I'll look after brakes, and I'll look after, I know brakes are bad, and I'll look after lights and stuff like that, make sure it's all roadworthy that way, and then those guys can tell me what it needs in the front end, because I don't know what it needs up there. You can't tell with these things. They're heavy duty, right? Okay, well, that's all pretty interesting. It's like there's no rust up here, which is good. Did somebody put a new box on it or something? I don't know. Must have been rusted in there, but that's fixed with metal. Yeah, it looks like you can see a patch here. I wonder if they glued that patch on or welded that patch on. I wonder if I should care. Well, it's a patch that you can buy, or they cut out a piece of a fender or something. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not gonna do anything about it because it's there now. Now the bottom of the door needs a little bit of help, but I can get that. And otherwise we're the back of the cab here. I don't know why that's cut like that. Now that's the back of the cab right there. Who knows what color it was originally. It says red on the manufacturer's plate, or on the registration. Anyhow, there's the only red on it right there. Okay, well there. Let's get this thing down before it falls down. Okay, now first order of business here is to fix the exhaust leak in underneath there. I've got it up on these things here, and I've got a block behind the wheel, and it's in park, and I've got a creepy thing, right? Haven't used this for a while, but it's handy to have going underneath. I think I know where the leak is, so I can go underneath there and see if I can fix it. Oh yeah, my favorite stuff. Upside down welding. So it looks like there's a crack here that I can fix up. I'll put a patch up, cut that and put a patch on that. Then this, but last guys that were here were brazing it. That'll be, and it's all lovely welding. Maybe I can cut that stuff out of there and get it better. I'll go after this one here first. because it looks like if I just cut that out of there down to about here and then put a piece of metal on there, that should, this is bent here, but that can stay bent right here. Just patch it with a piece of metal right there. How do you think about that? Think so? Guess so, yeah. Well, I got it cleaned off reasonably well. Better unhook the battery. Can you see that? I don't know. Anyway, I'll get underneath there and see if I can. Oh yeah, I did a bunch of welding down around the bottom of the thing there. Down there. I got rid of most of the noise, but that gasket at the manifold is leaking. That's going to be difficult to fix. But it's a lot quieter than it was. It's got exhaust coming out the exhaust pipe. So that's a good sign. Anyway, I'll get into the that manifold gasket soon. Not charging it all, so I'm trying to figure out what's going on there. I might have to take that alternator off and just maybe clean it up a bit, put it back on, see what happens. But first I should find all the fuses that aren't, well, they aren't connected because most of the wiring is hanging around. I might just take this off of here so I can see, like there's, that's not exactly tight on there. Oh, lots of stuff not quite right on it, but maybe I'll, brakes are one of the things that are bad. Looks like there's some new lines going somewhere. Don't know where. And there's all sorts of wires here that are suspect, I guess is a better word for anything. Anyway, I'll shut it off because it's getting pretty warm in here. Yeah, so put a new fuse in the one of the things there, and don't you know it's charging. So that's a good sign. Check and see what it says on the battery side. Charged for a minute and then it gave up. Anyway, that's okay. Not a big deal. There it's at 12.55 at rest. I'll just see what it charges. See what it's at when it's running. Start it up and see. It's a bunch quieter now, so I did some good down there. Temperature gauge is working also, and the buzzer's working, so something's working. 12.22, 12.23 when it's running now, so that's not charging. I don't know if you can see out there, but it's 12.5. 12.6. Got a little bit of life in the alternator, but not much. So I'll take that alternator off and clean it up. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to move this truck out of this shop because the shop's just too small. Too small for this big thing, big rigs. And I'll set it up out there somewhere close to where the dog is and put it up on a couple of stands. And one thing that's got to be done is, like, I'll show you when I get it apart, but I looked at it underneath and the brakes are, this side here is awful. The other side is not as awful, but it is equally not great. So anyway, fix up the front brakes, then I'll fix up the back, and the front brakes are the ones that are working, right? Then I'll fix up the back brakes and we'll see what we can go from there. Somebody's put new lines in it somewhere. I don't know where, not all the way. So I'll put this out in the yard, work on it out there, and I'll bring the little BMW back into here so that when the parts arrive I can work on that, because this thing is way too big to have in this little shop. Yeah, they're up on jack stands. That'll be high enough to get the wheels off, and I'll check out the brakes. I noticed that the on the other side, I'll show you when I get there, but I'll show you right now. Lots of crawling around the gravel for this one, eh? That thing right there, that's the stabilizer bar going around there into something. That'll have to be repaired. I don't know what's going on there. Looks like it just got hit with something. So I might just take out the front grille and all this stuff here, because nothing, there's only about 3 screws holding it in anyhow. 2 screws there, and I imagine there's just as many on the other side. Take the bumper off, and then also I think the alternator's okay, because it did charge yesterday. Now I think it's just a matter of the wiring is suspect. Like there's even one of the injector wires there looks like it's been chewed on a little bit. But now to get into the injector wires and everything like that, somebody's had like all the wiring apart there to, maybe they were trying to sort out the alternator. But what I think is going on is that the ignition light on the dash isn't working, so it's not getting a signal to the field wire, and then if it doesn't get a signal to the field wire, the alternator won't come alive. Or could be a ground. I don't know that there's much ground on this car, but it starts and runs, so there must be the ground must work for something. Anyway, but we'll go through the wiring later. I'm gonna start with it runs, alternator doesn't work, but that's not a big deal. We'll get that to work, or not. I'm gonna take the front wheels off and have a look at the front brakes. Then we'll get on to the back wheels and the back brakes. Then we'll do lights. So, well, first I'll just take it apart and see what it needs. I'm likely have to order some parts. So I'll just take the wheels and throw them underneath the truck so if it falls down, it won't fall all the way. Okay, there we go. Yeah, here it is. Okay, try that again. Take 2. Yeah, so it all looks pretty mucky around here. I'll scrape it all off and see what it looks like. Plexi line's okay. I think the brake lines are all right. This is likely needing some help, right? Heavy duty stuff. That looks like it's coming right out of there. That's the yeah, so new shoes at the least, and everything else at the most. We don't know. At the back here, it's not wearing very nicely. You know, can you see that up there? The wear pattern on that isn't exactly right. Wear pattern on this one's okay. Okay, well, and the disc isn't in bad shape. Besides being full of mud, I think the rotors are okay. And maybe the calipers are okay, it just needs new shoes. I'll get that stuff apart. I've got the other wheel off. One thing I like about small cars, I like working on small cars because they're small. This thing's huge, everything's big and heavy on it. So this side here actually looks in better shape than the other side as far as the caliper goes. So, and it's had lots of grease on it over the years, so that's kept the rusting away. Okay, now see if I can get these calipers off, and maybe I'll go get the book and see how I'm supposed to do it. Yeah, step 1, take this and see if we can bottom out the brakes into the caliper. See what happens here. We don't know if everything might be seized up here on this thing. I'll see if I can get it loosen off a bit. Yeah, I think that worked. Yeah, that's loose in there now. Yeah, so now we'll see the next step. Got to read the book some more. Yeah, next step is get these things here off of here, and then somehow there's a thing that you have to remove with a punch. I've got to find that. We'll find that soon. Yeah, nothing to it. You just take off these two things and it comes apart. That's amazing. They don't seem like that much of a thing. I better get I think I'll see if I can get a rebuild kit for this, because that rubber there is pretty well swacked. Anyway, that's easy. That's done. Okay, one side off. I'll clean it up, and I think that the like this thing. Oops, am I still going? Yeah, sorry. This thing here spins really nice, no problem. And it seems to be wear pattern on that side is okay. So I think we're okay with this thing here. I'll check and see what the book says for how much you're allowed to have for wear on that, and then I'll decide what we do about that. Yeah, they still wear left on these pads, but I think I better have this one here is pretty near done. Doesn't hurt to replace them. Okay, I'll get the other side off and then have a look, see what we have to do next. Yeah, this side here, the caliper won't compress all the way, so I think it's either that flexi line is collapsed or it's seized in there, so that's got to be some work on that. I'll get that apart and I'll see what I can get for parts. See what, like, you might be able to get a new caliper for fairly cheap anyhow. And then this thing here runs nice. I'll check this distance across there. It's drier than the other side, so it didn't get all that oil on it, so it's got a bit of rust hole right there. I might have to do some welding on that just to make it look a bit better. Anyway, we'll get there. Yeah, so minimum thickness, the book says it's cast into the wheel. The other side has got a 213 cast in, which is, I think, that measurement there. And so there's lots of room left to go on that one. So it's allowed to go real thin on both sides there before it's done. Don't know. But this thing here looks like it's like there's no wear at the top here anyhow, so I think we're fine. Okay, so on the back, most of the everything is there. That's the wrong spring for in there, so it didn't held. But it looks like axle seal is gone on that side. It does have a brake line to it coming to there, but the other side has got a axle seal's okay on this one, but there's a little bit of, I don't know, you can see light through underneath there. Like, see my finger there? That shouldn't be able to see my finger there, so that backing plate is suspect. But I'll get new axle seals, put 2 new axle seals in. Pretty sure the bearings are okay. If I got them out, might as well put the axle bearings in there too, right? Oh well, I'll get them apart before I make the order. No rush on this one, eh? Okay. That's about all we get out of it today, I think. Heavy duty stuff, it makes you tired. Anyway, we'll split my time between this and the BMW. Also, this patch that's on here, I don't know if you can see back there. That's the inner fender is rusted a bunch. It's never repaired. Don't know what to do about that. Maybe I'll think about that. Might just ignore it. You never know. Yeah, so it's the same on this side here. In there, inner fender is. Can you see that? Never repaired in there. That's too bad, but that's the way it is. Yeah, so let me see here now. I'll order up some brake parts. In the meantime, I'll have to take the back off the differential in there, remove the little C-clips and then pull this axle out. See if I can get the seal out of it and check the bearing. Likely I'll put new bearings in it. Might as well do it on both sides if I have it apart. Then I'll carry on from there. This side here is all full of grease, so I'm pretty sure it's leaking differential fluid in there. And if it's leaking differential fluid, it's likely because there's some up and down play in that. Bearings likely wore out. Hey, okay. Anyhow, that's on the list. Day of the summer, I decided to work outside and it rains, right? What do you know? And I got a dog. Anyway, but oh, it's not so bad. It's hard. Like, I like little cars because they're easy to work on. They're, small. Everything on this is big and heavy duty. But I guess we'll persevere and get through it and make it a roadworthy vehicle, I hope. Anyhow, that'll take a while. That's enough for today. See you later. Okay, I ordered new brake lines. Looks like somebody put new brake lines in here sometime. Across the front here. I wonder if that'll come out. I'll hit it with a bit of heat before anything else, and it might come apart. And I'll just check the other side. Yeah, there. Got that out. Smells. There it is there. So I'll see if I can get that to come apart now. These parts here are all going to be replaced. And got it out from this side too, but the wasn't so lucky with the brake line on this side. It kind of snapped off. Well, it was rusty anyhow, so just as well to replace it. Okay, I'll go and see if I can get these things cleaned up. And smell of old brake fluid, isn't it great? Yeah, these are off the Dodge front calipers. This one here I know goes in and out. This one here, I'll see if I can get it to go in and out. That one came apart all right here, but I'll get that off there before I try making it go in, because I don't know if this might be blocked, creating it so it won't go back and forth. We'll just see. Yeah, so I put a bunch of heat to here, and then this just came out easy. So, and there was a bunch of pressure behind here too, so I think that indeed the hose was a bit blocked. And then I've put some pressure on that, so some fluid did come out, but not very much. Now that thing's hot, so don't want to burn my hand off. And it's a banjo connection here. Yeah. There it is. That's out. That's good. And that should just knock off there with a hammer, maybe. We'll just see what happens. A little whacker. Yep. And there's the other copper washer on there. So that's good. There. That's yeah, too hot. Anyway, now I'll heat this up and see if I can get this out of here. I've got replacement ones of these. So yeah, heat. So it'll be on here a little while, and then I'll looks like it's going to be a pair of vice grips to get on that thing. So we'll see if it'll come out of it. Hang on. Yeah, I've run a few new lips. Ran a few heat cycles on that, and not getting anywhere. So I might just cut it off clean and then see if I can drill it out of there. Okay, so it's that's same as this one, 3/8 24. So I'll see if I can get that one there. I might have to save because I don't know if I have two of these. I have one anyhow. See if I can get the other one drilled out and threaded properly. Well, there, that was more good luck than good management there. But I did be able to make this so it can tighten down, and I got all the old stuff cleaned out of there. Just lucky that I didn't ruin anything else. Didn't ruin everything. I don't know. Can you see down there? No. Let's see if I can get a light down there. So there, you can sort of see down there. See? Anyway, more good luck than good management was involved there. So, but good luck is all I want. That seems to do the trick. We hope that'll seal well. We'll see. Yeah, then a little bit of air pressure, pop the piston out. When I do the other one, I'll show you. And then you have to clean this up. See, that's all pretty yucky there. But I can clean that up on the wire wheel, and that'll be fine. I hope. At the very worst, I have to get new ones. New ones are about, you know, $100 each from in Canada. But I like to try and fix the old stuff first if I can. Sometimes I wreck the old stuff, but this one here, I just made it lucky because that doesn't seem to leak, so we're okay there. Anyway, we're not out of the park yet until we'll get real full pressure on that from the brake system, but it seemed to hold the air all right, so, and it popped that out of there. So okay, that's good enough for today. See you later. Yeah, here I'll see if I can get the piston out of this without too much harm. So I've got the other side blocked with the well, you can't see it, but underneath there, blocked with the bleeder, hey? Comes out pretty easy. Okay, that's a good sign. Well, that's a sign. Now, have a look at it. I'll clean that up, and I'll clean the other one up, and I'll show you the results. Yeah, so there's the inside of this one, which is all nice and nice. That's clean. That's nice in there. No problems. No problem with that side. Let's have a look up there. Can you see light up there? Yeah, maybe. Anyway, other side. I think the carrier is okay, but the let's see what we got here. This part is a little bit suspect, right? I think you can buy that piece, and this one here is excellent. So I do have brake rebuild kits coming from them, so maybe I'll just have to order one of these things, right? And have a look at that. I'll do that. Okay, so this one here, which is on the driver's side, left-hand side, I've ordered a new one of them. New caliper coming from Amazon of all places, and the rest of the parts are from Parts at Avatar, and I've ordered a rebuild kit, which is fine for this one because everything's nice shape. That one here, that's in suspect shape, and I don't know whether this would be rusty inside there. Well, I think it's okay. It looks okay to a visual inspection, but this side, this one here is definitely okay. So I'll use my one new thing in here. I'll clean out this, run a tap through this and clean this up a bit. And then that'll be good. And we'll go from there. There, I just remounted this thing so it's not flopping all over the place. There's wires here, unknown what they're for, not knowing what they're for. Find out sometime in the future. But what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take off this whole front grill business, and perhaps I'll take the rad. Well, I'll leave the rad hanging there. There's only one. I think there's only one bolt holding the whole thing on. So I'll pull this away. Needs a new rad because, you know, it goes drip, drip, drip here. I don't know. Maybe I could fix that. I don't know. Do a pressure test on it. It might just take a little bit of welding right there. A little bit of soldering maybe to fix that. Check it out. But it's not really the correct rad. But has that ever stopped me before? We'll see. Anyhow, let me get this stuff off of here. Take that off, put it over there. Take this wire here, doesn't matter. Those ones do matter. Okay, I'll just start. You can watch if you want. It's over here. looks like all this stuff is in here right and solid. There's only one bolt missing here. Otherwise it's all bolted in well, and it's got bolts everywhere it's supposed to be. So don't screw with a good thing, Lorne. Let it be. We'll let that one be, and then work around it. So this is okay. I can get a new rad or fix this rad. That's in okay. This stuff down here is interesting. Don't know what it's all about. But now I'll look at underneath and see about, I've got to fix the brake line underneath here. So perhaps I'll get something to be laying on down there. Okay, near as I can tell, the only place where there's a leak in the rad is right here. And it's on this seam right here. And it looks like this has all been re-cored one time. And that seam has been filled. And like it got bashed here. So likely that there was some repair work there too. So likely it just needs a little bit of soldering right in there. I'll let some of the fluid out. I imagine if I wait long enough, the fluid will be out. No, it doesn't seem to be leaking hardly at all. It's full up to the top with the green stuff. So I'll let some of the fluid out and then see where we can go from there. Then I'll build like this has got the right, well, sort of the right stuff for the, maybe it just needs a little bit of a spacer there. Yeah, I think it just needs a bit of it, or just cut that out right there. Anyway, that we'll figure that out later. The fan shroud is didn't go with this car. It came from a different vehicle, or the radiator didn't go with this car. It came from a different vehicle. So new rad is $175 or something, like an aluminum one. So I might just get a new one of them, and then I won't have to think about it. But we'll see. That's later in the list of things. First I'll get the brakes going. I'm working on brakes, aren't I? Okay, let me get a rag. Oh, here I am. Where I got this brake line pulled out of there, okay? And that was kind of seized on there. Now I've got the other brake line to the other side of the front. I might as well replace both of them. It comes off of this block back there, which is, I don't know, like it's got all sorts of curly cues on here. I don't know. Can you see any of that? Where am I pointing? And then underneath this wiring harness, so there's the brake line here that goes to the other side, which is a new, fairly new brake line. And then it's got a fairly new brake line going to the back. Don't know if that needs to be replaced or not. These things here seem to be okay, as far as I can tell. And that, like there's a block here that it's got a, there should be an electric wire here somewhere, likely right there. It used to be an electric wire that would come as a warning on the dash if the one side of the brake wasn't working. And anyhow, it doesn't seem to be there anymore, but that's okay. I can live without it. The this brake line here goes underneath. You can see that wiggling down there, underneath down there. And I'll just pull that out. We'll put new brake lines in there. Then it's got some real shady wiring everywhere you look. Oh well. I'll see if I can. I'll get the brakes fixed. Then well, likely I'll go after the wiring here shortly because I got to wait for brake parts to come, and I'm also waiting for parts to come for the BMW. Like I don't know what this is. Like, oh, sorry. There's like wire here, bare, right? Wire there, bared. Right there, bared off. And there was a couple of wires hooked onto it. Funniest thing is that here's this. Oh, here's the hold down for the battery, and it's still here. It's right here. And I even found one of the bolts that works for it. So it needs another long bolt like this thing here. But I can make one of these. I've got a 1/4-inch rod there, so that I can make one of these. No problem at all. Funny. Okay, I'll get that other brake line out of the bottom there. Okay, here's the other one. This one here is all in one piece, but it's I think the other one they bought pre-made brake line, and then they had to coil it around and around and around to make it so it would fit on. So I'll make custom made brake lines that will fit better. And it looks like there's all double flare stuff at the, yeah, double flare. Okay, so that's enough for today anyhow. We'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, here's something you can do to help out my channel if you like. There's like if you're watching
and
on
flash, high beams
on
or low
a
beams,
mobile
I don't know
device,
which is
right?
which there. I think
So
that's low beams, eh? Anyway.
there, I'll just pause it for a second. If you can go down here, like down at the bottom of the screen, there's too many buttons on this thing, eh? There's this likes, share, promote, remix. Move that over, you get this hype button. If you can press the hype button for me, that'd be much appreciated. It only works on mobile devices like an iPad or a tablet or whatever else. iPad, tablet, iPhones, Android phones. It doesn't work on your computer. So if you're watching on a mobile device, you can give it a hype, and so I'd appreciate it. I don't know what else to say. See you later. And now I know what else to say. Anyway, on the hype business there, the video must be less than a week old, and you're only allowed like 6 hypes a week. I think it's a new thing from YouTube trying to promote small channels. So mine qualifies. It's a small channel. Anyway, I'd appreciate the help, and give it a plug if you can, please. Thanks. Yeah, so much for hyping, eh? Anyhow, I'll go back on. I've got the front brakes pretty well taken apart, plus the lines out from the front there. I'll make new lines for them. Now the back, I'm going to just get the back lines out of here and see where we can go. See what it looks like back here. There's the alleged vice grips. I need a new pair of vice grips. I'm glad a pair of vice grips came with this car, because you know they're always handy. So I'm not going to take apart. Well, it's already gone there. No line there. But I will take apart the lines in here and see. I think I've got a new what do you call that thing? A new flexi line coming that looks like that one, I think. And well, I don't know what goes on in the middle there. There's some sort of something going on. Maybe that's part of it. It does have anti-lock brakes or something on the back here. Maybe that's part of that. I guess we'll get it apart, figure it out. Yeah, here's the anti-lock brake business here. We think that thing there is. We don't know for sure. But I'll see if I can get, like, this is a new hose on here, new line. And it looks pretty good. I'll just leave that one be. I think it's fine. Then this line here goes right there. I'll see if I can get that off of there without wrecking it. If I can't, then I'll put a new line on it. There's just not much there to make a line for that, right? Then I took the vice grips off, and it's dripping brake fluid now. I don't know what this thing here is. It's some sort of a something. No idea. I'll figure it out. Okay, so I'll start trying to disassemble all this. See that? The new line the new flexi line that I ordered, which looks similar to this. It's got these clippy things on it that are holding a wire that goes over here somewhere. Don't know what for, but it goes over there for something. Anyway, I'll get the tools out and see if I can get that off. A little bit of rust right there on that one. That's on the bed, right? And that's fairly easily repaired, I think. A little bit soft, that, but I don't think they'd fail the inspection on that. Maybe not. We'll see. A little bit soft over there too. No, yeah, a little bit soft, but not bad. So, like, overall, not bad at all underneath here. There you can see up in there. Can you see that? Right up in there. Whoa, where am I? Right there, where the They put the outer shell on, but didn't put anything on the inner shell, which I guess I can fix eventually. Okay, and that's a little bit soft right there too. Oh yeah, this is a bit soft right there. Maybe that. Whoops, where am I pointing? Right here, it's a bit soft. I'll run it through the inspection and before I start cutting and pasting on this stuff. Oh. Well, I don't know. Maybe I have to fix that. Yep, this one here, that's a bit soft in there. Hey, might have to fix that. Oh well, that's all right. I can fix that. Right there. Mostly it's the brace for the spare tire. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I think there used to be a spare tire thing here. Goes across on that. Anyway, next. Yeah, working upside down. Anyway, where's my hands all in the way? So this came off of there. No trouble. Here it is over here. There's the other end of it. Now that is, I'm pretty sure this hose here is kaput. This hose here is likely okay, but it's just curlicue all the way across. So I'll make a new hose for there, or a new line for there, and I'll unhook it over there. I've got new what do you call those things? Wheel cylinders coming, so that'll be fine. So I'll get that line out of the way and just put it aside until the new stuff comes, and then I'll maybe I'll take this back off of here and see if I can get the axles to come out. I'm not really sure on that. Don't know for sure. Not knowing, but we'll give it a go. Yeah, there's my new vice grips. Thanks, Kevin. This thing here, I laid it down. I laid this when it was hot down on this, and this stuff is not fireproof. It just burns through very, very quickly. So that's why it's all ratty, because it caught on fire once when I was welding. Anyway, I'll go over the other side and see if I can get that line off of there. That would be a good thing. Okay, hang on, we'll get there. Yeah, so this line here is what I'm talking about. See if I can get that off of there. If not, I'll just, cut it off. It's fine. This one here is so covered in grease, there's no rust at all on it. Hey, so it just comes off, no problem. I wonder if I'm pointing the right way, or yeah, pretty close. I'll see if I can get that. It'll take a few turns to get it off of there, but it'll come off. It's moving anyhow. Seems to be catching on something, so need to use a different kind of wrench. Okay, I'll get that. Yeah, I don't know. Don't know what this hose is for. Anyhow, there it is, the alleged brake line. The other side doesn't have a brake line because it used to be hooked on right there. Can you see that? Enough light? I don't know. Right there. Maybe is that focused? I don't know. Anyhow, that side's on. This hose is just a straight through shot. I don't know what it's for. Anyhow. Okay, now take the back plate off of that. Yeah, so cleaned out my bucket so I'll be able to tell if there's anything bad coming out of there. I don't think there's a drain on it. Doesn't really matter. It looks like it's a 13 mil or half inch. Let's see if we can get these to come apart. I guess all the dirt's going to go in there. I need something to put these in. Yeah, it's got lots of silicone on it from the previous. Hang on, I got to get a bucket to put these in. Yeah, I'll try this again, shall we? Maybe tilt you up a bit. See what happens. Might be smarter to do it here. Oh, look at that. That all looks pretty nice and clean coming out of there. It'd be some cleaning to get that cleaned up. But now, I think you can count the teeth here to find out how many Wattses there is. But And then you're supposed to be able to take out that center pinion and then remove the little things that hold it. Oh, that's not. Gotta put it in neutral, I guess. Make that thing move around. So I'll do some figuring on that. I think you undo that, and then that pinion thing will come out of there. Not knowing 100%, I have to get the book out and do some reading. Does this mean it's a limited slip? I think it does. Huh. I'll have to look now and get the yeah, got that thing on there. I think that means it's limited slip, but I don't know. Not knowing. I think so. That's interesting. Don't know if I ordered the right. Yeah, the way you tell is they put it in neutral and then turn the axle, and they both should turn, right? Oh, I'll put it in neutral and find out. Could have tested that before I took it all apart. Oh, all the mysteries, right? So this, that thing right there, the shaft, is, oh, there's the pinion thing, or, well, the gear. Oh, it looks like it's in pretty good shape. I'll turn it over once and see. And this thing here is the just a ring for counting the oh, what do you call that? It counts the number of rotations, so for the anti-lock brake business. So it's interconnected there to here to up there somewhere in the computer. Anyway, that's what that's all about. You're supposed to take this off of here. Maybe, I don't know if that's a hex nut. Yeah, it is. Maybe I'll be able to do it more easily with other stuff now. But yeah, it's normal thing. Normal pinion. It's not a sure lock, they call it the other way. So now, see if I can turn this. Yeah, there. So that has to, have to be able to get, yeah, that's like 8mm or something. I'll get a right wrench for that. You got to take this lock nut out and then pull this pinion bar out. I don't know, can you see that part there? And then, yeah, there's only one lock nut, so, and then once you get it apart, you're not supposed to anymore turn the wheels, because that will create problems. Okay, so I got to get that nut off of there. Hang on, I got to get a proper wrench for it. Okay, here I am. This is got 8mm socket on here, and see if I can. Yeah, that was, I cracked it free, so took a bunch of bouncing on it to crack it free. Now I'll get a ratchet on it, maybe. Guess it doesn't hurt. Whoops, I'm up against, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, of course. Of course, of course. Now I'm stuck. That thing is stuck. Oh dear, where's my screwdriver? Yay. That was dumb. think this thing is screwed. Back to the fight. Okay, that comes out of there. When it goes back in, it has to be put into the right amount, right? And then this, I'm just going to turn it about there. And hopefully this will come out far enough. No. Wait. Right about there. And that just comes out of there, like that. Then I should be able to push in on the axle and remove the C thing. I'll just see what happens here. Oh yeah, I can see the C thing now. But how do you get that out of there? I don't know. There you are. Like, the little C thing is right there. Can you see it's a different colored metal? Let's see if I can get that out of there without harming stuff. Look at the right place, I wonder. Somewhere around there. Oh, there. It just sort of falls right out in your hand. There it is right there. Okay, I'm only going to remove this one side for now. I'll get the other side later, but I'll pull one side out. Well, we'll just see. Okay, I'm going to take you out to the outside here. Clean the yuck off my hands so I can handle the camera. Got enough oil in the camera now, I think. That wasn't as hard as it could have been, but could have been easier too. Okay, I'll go in. Whoops, there. Now this thing here should just come out of here. Let's put this underneath it. Yeah, too many things in my hand as usual. Hang on. Get you right. Get all the brake lines out of there. This should just come out now. Oh, look at that, it does. It does so. It does so come out there. And then the bearing will come out of there with a, put a puller behind it, it'll come. Ah, cool. That's not much good. Now this thing here, see, I'll just swirl that. And I don't see any metal in there. That's all nice oil. Too bad I have to throw it out, but it's nice oil. Hang on, I could get that off my finger before I can touch you again. Okay, that's good oil in there, and I don't have any problem with that, but this was definitely leaking. That seal's gone. So let's get that stuff out of there if we can. Okay, this is a slide hammer, and thanks to Debbie's stepdad, a long time ago he gave me this. And it's just the handiest thing on the planet sometimes, but difficult to manage sometimes. Because you need kind of 3 hands to run it, right? 3 hands and 2 feet. Because this thing here, you have to turn it to get it tight against that stuff there. I think that's good. Let's see if we can, and be careful, like up at this end, careful not to smash it, like here's the end of it, eh? Don't want to smash your finger into that. Am I doing it wrong? I'll have to check. I'll see if I can dig this seal out of here. It might be holding things up a bit. Yeah.
You never know, there might be a snap ring or something in there. But I didn't read about that in the book. There we go. Like it's, this part here is holding on out here. Yeah. That's quite the feel. There we go. That's out of there now. I don't see any snap ring. Well, I'm doing the right thing, so I'll pound away at it a while here and see if it'll come out. I don't know if it's moved at all or not yet. I'll get a measuring device and measure how much it's in there, and then I'll find out if it's moving.
Oh, okay, hasn't moved at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the vacuum plate for the brakes, which I want to take off anyhow and clean up. And then I'll heat it up with heat it up with a torch on the outside here and see if that'll expand it a bit so it'll come out. We'll just see. A little bit of heat always helps. Yeah, here's the last one. These things all have Loctite on them, so they're on there pretty good. There we go. We'll get that cleaned off after it all. Now, put a bit of heat to this thing, right? See if I can get it to come out. Got some sort of debris in there. Oh. I better put the slide hammer in before I start heating on it. Well, I'll be working at it for a while. Oh boy, that was hard work to get that to come out. I think it's coming out. Here should be the last couple of hits on here. Yeah. Yay. Oh, hard work. Why was that so hard to come out of there? I guess it's kind of pressed in pretty hard, but oh, it looks like it might have spun once or twice on that. I don't know. Hard to say. Okay. Yay. Now I'll get this off of here. Oh, have to go. Half of the bearings came out of it. They're in there now. Have to go on a vise and hold these things, two parts together to get this apart now. Oh boy, that was hard work. Okay, yay, bearings out. Should I take the other side out? I don't know. Yeah, I'm rested a bit now. So here's the bearing that came out of it. All the bearings on the race started falling apart as I pounded more and more on it. And eventually it came out with the pounder. So maybe I'll go to the other side and do the same thing again. Then I can get that brake cover off of that. It's got some rust right, the other one's got the rust right here, which I could fix up while it's off the car. That'll be a good thing to do. And then I'll find a place for that soon. Okay, moving to the other side. Got this axle out, back to where I started. This seal, like, it's really rigid also, so it's pretty near gone. Anyhow, I put the that little shaft back in there, so in case they inadvertently get turned, I can I won't lose the pinion gears. Okay, now see if I can get this all apart. I know you got to pound that here to get the. So I've got this, and I'll pound that. I'll just see what happens. See if we get anywhere with it. Hey. There we go. A little bit of violence got it out of there. I'm dropping dirt in my stuff there. Oh yeah, this is all full of dirt now too. So I think I'll just take the backing plate off there right away. Okay, you saw me do it on the other side. Yeah, so this stud here was rusted together, right? And then stripped the nut out and everything like that. So I took the cold chisel and just gave it a few whacks and broke it. And it came off. Then this came off, and yeah, that particular wheel cylinder is not going to work ever again. But now I need to do a bit of repair here, a little bit of repair right there. That one there is okay. We'll fix that up before it goes back on. Yeah, I had to take all the brakes apart to be able to knock that nut off of there, which was not too tough to do. Anyhow, that's done. And now the easy part, hey, get this out of here. Yeah, not so easy. We'll just see. I'll let you know how it goes. Yeah, about a half hour later, right? Yay, there. Now, that is exhausting. But it's out. Can't imagine putting them in. Maybe I'll put them in the freezer overnight and then slide them in there. That might help. Holy boy, that was hard work. Anyway, the everything looks okay in there. This part here is all apart. So I had to take apart, I think I told you I had to take apart this because one of those nuts was no good. Well, wouldn't come off. Anyway, it's off now, and I'll clean up all those threads if I can. I don't know if I can or not, but I'll do the best I can with a wire brush. And they had Loctite on them anyhow too, also, so that's good. This thing here, I'll clean up and repair with, weld it up, see how things work out. It needs a little bit of help there, hey? Okay, I'll see if I can get that off of there. I don't know. Okay, there. That side's all apart and out, right? This side's all apart and out. Yay. And I put the, oh, I've got a dog here chewing on something. Don't know what. I put the little pinion post back in there. I don't know if you can see up there or not, maybe. So that, anyhow, I think I mentioned that, so it won't be ruined. So that's enough for today. And I think that's enough. There's the axle from this side. I think that's enough for this week, hey? So next week I'll get at cleaning that stuff up and hopefully the parts arrive and put it back together. Same with the front. Anyhow, hope you enjoyed it all, and make sure you hit that, oh, whatever that other button is on there. Hype. Hit the hype button. That helps. Okay, see you later. Thanks for watching. Yeah, a little bit shaky on the hand here today, but there's 3 like this in Charlottetown today. Actually, 2 is about this size, and 1's slightly smaller. Excuse the jerkiness. Yeah, there's number 3 going out. That's a Holland America line, Wolderdam, I think. Yeah, the first one was a Norwegian gem. I just sort of just about missed this one. The first one, I didn't see it. That's number 3 right there. Okay, and in and out of focus, but that's alright. See you later.